Okay, now that we have listened to our story and gone over our color wheel again and remembered that our primary colors mixed together make secondary colors, it's time for us to begin drawing our picture today. So, as you can see, we are going to be drawing a pumpkin, a big pumpkin. This pumpkin takes up my entire sheet of paper, doesn't it? And if you look at the colors I used in my pumpkin. It's orange, green, and violet or purple, which are the secondary colors. The secondary colors. So we are going to only color with the secondary colors today, which is going to make this drawing really fun. Okay, now to start our pumpkin, we need to start with a shape, and this is one of the shapes that we talked about when we did our dot day project, and it's the shape of an oval. Now an oval is like a circle, but you stretch it, okay? So you've got your circle and you stretch it, and that makes an oval, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start in the middle and we're going to draw an oval. Now let's remember our story Ish by Peter H. Reynolds. In Ish, we learned that it's okay if your drawings don't look perfect, right? Absolutely. They don't have to look absolutely perfect. They're going to look ish. Pumpkin-ish. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is right in the middle. We are going to draw an oval. Now, I'm going to show you an easy way to draw an oval. So watch carefully. I'm going to start in the middle. And I'm going to start with a frowny face. I made a frowny face. And then I'm going to take the edge of my frowny face and I'm going to come straight down. Now it kind of looks like a candy cane, doesn't it? Then we'll take the other edge of my frowny face and come straight down. And then at the bottom, I'm going to make a smiley face. And now, it looks like an oval, doesn't it? Again, does it have to be perfect? Nope, it does not have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, now, to draw the next parts of my pumpkin, watch carefully, okay? I'm going to draw two more lines over here on this side. So I'm going to start up here on my frowny face, and I'm going to make another frowny face. And then I'm going to draw a line down. And then I'm going to make a smiley face. And then we'll come back up to the top. And again, from this one, I'm going to make a frowny face. And then I'm going to come down and make a smiley face. So I've got three right in a row. My oval, and then I got two more. Now I'm going to draw two more on this side. So I'm going to come over to this side of my paper. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start at the top of my first one. And I'm going to make a frowny face. And then I'm going to bring my frowny face down. And then I'm going to turn it into a smiley face. And then again, I'm going to come up to the edge of this one I just did and start with a frowny face. And then I'm going to take my frowny face straight down. And then I turn it into a smiley face. Now, does my pumpkin have to look perfect? Nope, does not have to look perfect. It has to look pumpkin-ish. Pumpkin-ish. Okay, Now what I'm going to do is above the middle oval, the one I started with, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to draw a little straight line. This is what we call a horizontal line. Horizontal lines go from left to right. And then I'm going to start on this edge and I'm going to draw a curved line that comes down to the edge of my pumpkin. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Down to the edge of my pumpkin. And then I'm going to start at the top of my line. And I'm just going to draw some more curved lines that come down to the top of my pumpkin. And that's going to be our stem. So now our pumpkin has a stem. Okay, now next thing we need to do is we need to give our pumpkin some grass to sit on. So I'm going to make some zigzag lines. So I'm going to start here on the edge of my pumpkin and I'm just going to make some curvy zigzag lines over to the edge. And that's going to look like some grass. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Some curvy zigzag lines over to the edge. And now we've got some grass. And now we've drawn a pumpkin. Now, is your pumpkin going to look exactly like mine? Does this pumpkin look exactly like this pumpkin? Do any two pumpkins look exactly the same? No. Remember, pumpkin-ish. We are just learning to draw, so they're not going to be perfect. We're just practicing and practicing, because the more we practice, the better we're going to get. Okay, so we finished drawing our pumpkin. Now it's time to color our pumpkin. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our pencils up. And we're going to start with one of our secondary colors. We're going to start with orange. So find your orange marker for me. Now remember, you've got your bag with all of your markers and crayons. So we're only getting out one right now. One orange marker. Now, do we color with a marker? Nope, we're only tracing around the lines we've already drawn. So we're going to start and we are going to trace around the lines of our pumpkin. So I'm going to take my orange marker and I'm going to trace around all of those ovals we learned how to make today. Taking my time, staying right on my lines, making it look nice and neat. Okay, and once I've traced my pumpkin, what do I do with that marker? Remember, we snap that cap. And then I put my orange marker back in my bag. And I'm going to get out my orange crayon. So finish outlining, snap that cap, put your orange marker back in your bag, get your orange crayon, and then we're going to start coloring our pumpkin. Now remember, when we color, do we press down very hard on our crayons? Nope, we don't press down hard. We color nice and neat. We stay in the lines and we don't leave white spots. Oops, got something on my paper there. color in all of the 5 sections of our pumpkin we drew. Nice and neat. Take your time, make your pumpkin look really, really cool and really neat, nice and neat. Okay, once you're finished coloring your pumpkin, you take your orange crayon and you put it back in your bag. Now, I'm going to give you guys about another minute to finish coloring your pumpkins if you haven't already finished. If you have, just sit quietly and wait until we're ready to move on to the next thing we're going to color. So take your time, finish coloring your pumpkins, make them look nice and neat. Okay, now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our green marker. So find your green marker, and we're going to color 2 things green. We're going to color our stem and our grass. So watch carefully. I'm going to start with my stem, and I'm going to trace along my lines that I've already drawn. Remember, we're not coloring with a marker. We're just going along outside edges. Trace along the outside edges. Okay, and then I'm also going to trace along the lines of the grass I drew. These little zigzag lines I drew for my grass. And then once I've done that, I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to snap that cap. Put my marker back in my bag, and now I need to find my green crayon. Green crayon. And I'm going to color in my stem. Remember, press lightly. Don't press too hard, and that's how we make crayons break. We don't want our crayons to break. So press really lightly. And we're going to color neatly. We're going to stay in the lines, and we're not going to leave any white spots. Fill it all in. So I'm going to color my stem, and then I'm going to color all my grass down here. I'm going to come all the way down to the very bottom of the paper and color too. bottom of my pumpkin. Take your time. Make it look nice and neat. We're not in a hurry. We've got plenty of time to get our pumpkins colored. Okay, now once you have your grass colored, take your crayon and put it back in your baggie. And we're going to give everyone else just another minute or two to finish coloring. So take your time, color neatly, and then I'm going to show you how to draw these stars that we've got. I'm going to show you how to draw these stars. Okay, so get your crayons put away. And now it's time for our last color, which is the last secondary color. We've done orange, we've used green. Our last color is violet or purple. So find your violet or purple marker. Okay, so everybody needs to watch carefully. So everybody stop what you're doing and look up at the screen, because I'm going to show you how to make these stars. Okay, watching. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a marker and I'm going to make the letter X. Okay, so I just want you to watch this first one and then you're going to do a couple with. So I made the letter X. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a straight line right down the middle of my X. So I drew a straight line right down the middle of my X. Then I'm going to draw another straight line across the middle. Across the middle. So watch one more time. Just watch, and then I'm going to let you do some with me, okay? We make a letter X, straight line down, and then we do a straight line across. Okay, so everybody get your marker out now. You're going to try one with me. So get your marker out, take the lid off. Okay, we ready? Okay, So find an empty spot here in the sky above your pumpkin and make a letter X. And then you're going to draw a straight line right down through the middle. And then you're going to draw a straight line right across the middle. Okay, let's do it. Find you another empty spot, doesn't matter where. Make an X. Draw a straight line down the middle. Draw a straight line across the middle. Now, do these have to look perfect? No, just learning how to do this, so they're going to be ish. Okay, so I'm going to keep adding some more stars in my sky. So you can follow along with me, or if you've got the hang of it, you can keep adding stars. But let's look at my example again. Are they the same size? I've got some that are big, I've got some that are medium, and then I've got some that are small. Okay, so right now I'm starting with the big ones because they're easier to see. I start with an X. I draw a straight line down the middle. And then I draw a straight line across the middle. Big X. Straight line down the middle. Straight line across the middle. Now, I've run out of room for big ones, so the next ones I'm going to do are going to be my medium-sized one. But if you still have room for big ones, keep drawing some big ones. It's the same steps. We start with an X. We draw a straight line down the middle. And we draw a straight line across the middle. Start with an X. Draw a straight line down the middle. Straight line across the middle. Start with X. Straight line down the middle. Straight line across the middle. Start with an X. Straight line down the middle. Straight line across the middle. Start with an X. Straight line down the middle. Straight line across the middle. Start with an X. Straight line down the middle. Straight line across the middle. Start with an X. Straight line down the middle. Straight line across the middle. I've started my little stars. Start with an X. Straight line down the middle. Straight line across the middle. Start with an X. Straight line down the middle. Straight line across the middle. I'm going to add me a couple more. Start with an X. Straight line down the middle. Straight line across the middle. Start with an X. Straight line down the middle. Straight line across the middle. I'm going to add one more and then I'm going to stop. So start with an X. Straight line down the middle. Straight line across the middle. Now, I've filled up my night sky with all kinds of pretty stars. If you still have room, you can add as many stars as you want. Just remember the same steps. Start with an X, straight line down the middle, straight line across the middle. And when you're done making stars, you're going to take a marker and you're going to snap that cap. You put your marker back in your bag, and then you can get out your purple violet crayon, and we're going to color the whole sky purple. So once you've drawn all your stars, snap that cap on the marker, put your marker up, get your violet purple crayon, and we are going to color the night sky. Now again, remember, color lightly, especially when we're coloring a big section like the sky. We want to color lightly because it's going to take us a long time if we press down really hard. And if we press down really hard, are we going to be able to see the stars that we drew? Nope, we want to press lightly so those pretty stars we drew with our marker can be seen. And we're going to take our time because we want to color in the whole sky and not leave any white spots. We're going to have a pretty purple night sky. Have you guys ever seen the sky when it looks purple like this? It's really pretty. It's normally right after the sun goes down and the stars are just starting to come out. It's not really dark yet. You can still see a little bit, but that sky is all pretty and purple. And if you've never seen the sky looking like that, then maybe if you're allowed to stay up that late, I don't know how late you guys are allowed to stay up, but maybe you can stay up and watch the sun go down and watch the sky turn from blue to purple. And it's really pretty. We're going to finish coloring our night sky. Nice and neat. Taking our time because we're not in a hurry. We want our pictures to look really pretty. Coloring lightly, coloring neatly, no white spaces, filling in the whole sky all the way to the very tip top of our paper. Okay, and once you have finished coloring your sky, you can put your purple crayon back in your bag. And if you're not finished, that's okay, you've got some more time. Finish coloring your picture with your pumpkin using only our secondary colors. Remember, our secondary colors are orange, green, and violet or purple. And now we have a nice pretty pumpkin. And you guys have fun, and until next time.